This is David Del Val in Sacramento at the Brick House Gallery, and you're in time for The Girl Can't Help It. Come with me. This is the first exhibit of The Girl Can't Help It, my transgressive females in cinema show. And in honor of it, I'm wearing my very special Jean Seberg collection, Birds of Peru. Come on in. I chose these photographs very carefully because all of them are favorites of mine. Let's begin with a poster, shall we? This is a Spanish poster for Psych Out, and you can see by Jack Nicholson's billing that this was very early in his career. The film stars Susan Strasberg, who's the daughter of the famed acting coach Lee Strasberg. I liked always the foreign posters for these films are the most compelling, and I love the psychedelic way that her hair goes into part of the film. In the film, she's a girl looking for her brother, and she winds up on Sunset, or not on Sunset, this is in San Francisco, so she winds up wandering around the Haight with a character named Stoney that's played by Jack Nicholson. This is a photo booth, which is an Italian lobby card for Federico Fellini's La Dolce Vita. This is one of my favorite sequences. It's early in the film with the Siamese dancers. And there's the epic Anita Ekberg, who figures a bit in this show, and Marcello Mastroianni. This is exactly the definition and epitome of transgressive female behavior in films. Patty Duke looking like a hooker in Jacqueline Suzette's trash classic, Valley of the Dolls. This photograph just knocked me out when I first saw it, because here we have Patty Duke. If you recall her from the Patty Duke show, she was the girl that a hot dog made her lose control. In this movie, it's dolls, and boy does she lose control. Right after this picture is taken, she goes behind the alley of the theater she's in tryouts, which she actually doesn't make because she gets too messed up on dolls. She winds up down by the trash cans while the camera up on a crane catches her screaming, "I'm Neely O'Hara!" It took Patty Duke the rest of her career to live this film down. But there, I think, is one of the best images from it. And as you can see, she's ready to take all comers. Next, we have Maria Rome in Jess Franco's classic of psychedelia, Venus in Furs. In this film, Maria Rome wanders around in a mink coat with nothing else on, while in the background the music decries, Venus in Furs is still smiling. She's kind of an angel of death, but I really like her. And for Jess Franco fans, this doesn't get any better than this. His career kind of went into what he called a porno holocaust after this. Here we have a window. This iconic image, if ever there was one, Charlotte Rampling in The Night Porter. In this film, Dirk Bogarde plays an SS commandant who has an affair with one of the inmates. And this was at the height of the cabaret craze in films that was happening after Liza Minnelli won the Oscar for Cabaret. Here's Charlotte Rampling in the image that is permanently burned into the memories of all who saw her. As she recalls, her days at the SS camp were my blue heaven. Well, with Dirk Bogarde, what else can it be? Now, we have Silviana Magnano, who married Dino De Laurentiis, in The Witches. This was one of those portmanteau films which actually boasted an early screen appearance of Clint Eastwood. But I chose it because this was what the French would call a very fantastique kind of photograph, and I love that kind of fetish gear she wears. The movie itself, the stills are better than the movie. How often does that happen? Of course, what show would be complete about transgressive females or women that hold their own in a male-dominated world than the fabulous Diana Rigg, or rather Dame Diana Rigg, in The Avengers. I watched this show religiously when I was a kid. And this is from the opening sequence. If you're familiar with The Avengers, both she and Patrick Macnee meet on a chessboard to great music by Laurie Johnson. And the rest, as they say, is history. And now, Monica Vitti in Joseph Losey's fabulous mistake of psychedelic epicness, Modesty Blaise, based on the comic strip. Modesty Blaise did not do well at the box office, and yet Joseph Losey is such a world-class director that you simply couldn't get any better than this. She wears many outfits in this, and this is just one of them. Along with the leather gear, we have Marianne Faithfull in The Girl on a Motorcycle. This film she made with Alain Delon in the 1960s, and as you can see, she's clad in leather head to foot. We hope this will be a big one. This is kind of a holdover from my Beefcake Babylon shows. We have Sylvia Lopez, no relation to Jennifer, in Hercules Unchained. Here, Sylvia takes one of her impromptu baths with some swans. It's just one of those iconic images that I felt belonged in a show about women who do it for themselves. This is an iconic image as well of Linda Hayden in Baby Love. This is what I call the trailer park Lolita, because Linda Hayden was a sensation in the 1970s in Great Britain. And in this one, she plays Baby Love, a 16-year-old girl that gets it on with an entire household, including the milkman. Linda then achieved immortality in The Blood on Satan's Claw, playing Angel Blake. And what show about tough women would be complete without Joan Crawford? Joan Crawford, whose entire career was kind of overshadowed by the book her daughter Christina wrote. Whether it was true, whether it was not, it makes no difference, because guess what, folks? Joan Crawford is a star. And this is an epic Western of unbridled frenzy. Joan Crawford squares off against Mercedes McCambridge in Technicolor under the direction of Nicholas Ray. It doesn't get butcher than this. Of course, we need a cat fight. And what better example than in From Russia with Love, gypsies that fight for the love of James Bond. Martine Beswick and Elisa Gure in From Russia with Love. Martine's such a wonderful person too. Here we have a couple of space women from Queen of Outer Space, the film with Zsa Zsa Gabor. Now, you have to remember Zsa Zsa did not play the Queen, and she has a wonderful line in the movie. When asked about the Queen, Zsa Zsa shrugs and says, "I hate that Queen." There they are. I had to have some space chicks. The wonderful late Rosalind Cash in The Omega Man. This was the second version of Richard Matheson's I Am Legend. This one stars Charlton Heston. The first one was Vincent Price, filmed in Italy. But check out this leather. I mean, this is one badass chick. Candice Bergen, long before Boston Legal, made a film which everyone joked about. Woody Allen once called this movie, I have only one regret in life, that I sat for Magus. It's not that bad. But here we have Candice Bergen dressed as the goddess Diana of the Hunt. Many of the kind of fantasy sequences in this film that starred Anthony Quinn. It's now available on DVD, so you can judge for yourself. Above me here is another Joan Crawford epic. This one is called Female on the Beach. In this one, 50 years, but you never know it because the script always refers to her as a girl. She's romanced by everyone, but falls for a hustler by the name of Jeff Chandler.
Whatever happens to be
Oh, I remember watching Mommy Dearest, where Faye Dunham was playing Miss Candice Bergen.
Absolutely right. The three people around
Shane Mansfield, Mega Man.